In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, my dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad, there are floods in certain parts of the country, in the Baluchistan, in the southern Punjab, and in the interior Sindh, and maybe at certain other places as well. It is definitely a catastrophic situation and a kind of, you know, it's very terrible, disastrous situation because the people have lost their cattle, they have lost their crops, they have lost their houses, they have lost whatever was inside the houses, and above all, they have lost several members of them. They might have lost family member as well. So it is definitely something very tragic and will not be forgotten throughout their life. We people need to help them a lot. The state need to help them. The people who are well off financially, they too generously, they should they should show the generosity and empathy at the same time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given and gifted them with plenty of money. Why don't they spend a considerable amount of it upon the people who are in trouble, upon the people who are facing the catastrophic situations? And as for the commoners in Pakistan are concerned, they too at least do it symbolically, if not considerably. Dear friends and fellows, now I want to speak to those people. I want to say something to those people who are the flood affectees, the people whose lives are destroyed because of the floods there in their region. Dear friends, it is, now there are several categories of those people. There are several categories of those people who are affected directly by it. One are the landlords, the feudal lords, of the Balochistan, the interior Sindh, and the rural, the southern Punjab. Dear friends, these people obviously they do have to stay there, and they do have the plenty of resources. They also have their residences, accommodations, houses in the major cities. Maybe their families do live in the major cities where they are enjoying all the facilities. My today's talk is not about these people. And then there are other people who do have a considerable stake there in those regions which are affected by the floods. My talk today is not about these people as well. Now there are laborers who are working field workers, agricultural workers. These workers, the whole of the family was working with the feudal lord, mean at the land of the feudal lord, working like a slave, and there are no timings, and there is no such thing which they can refuse that this is not my work, and that too at a nominal price. Maybe what they are getting is for one person, but the whole of the family is working like a slave, and there is no rights and no timings and no nothing else, etc. So my talk is about these people. I think that they people can avail this situation as an opportunity. They can avail this situation as an opportunity. I think they shouldn't be repairing their houses at all. They should never repair their houses at all. They should try to move to the major cities of Pakistan, to any of the major city of Pakistan. Why, dear friends and fellows? They are working like a slave, and they are doing it for this since many generations. And they people are living from hand to mouth. They they don't have any comfort in their life. Their children are unable to get the education, and if at all any of the family member fell ill, falls ill, they don't have the proper medication available over there. So their condition was very miserable earlier as well. As far these are floods are concerned, these are definitely catastrophic disasters. But prior to that as well, their life was very difficult. They were living like the kettles. their lives were not maybe better than the lives of the cattle. They were considered as a property. I think my talk, I'm addressing, I want to speak about these people, that they people should be motivated by the people who are sensible living in the same region, the people who are sensible, the people who are well aware, the people who are responsible enough, the people who are educated. I think they should motivate these people to migrate to a major city. So, and there they can begin a new life, Although initially they might have to sleep on the footpaths, their families, their children, their women might have to sleep on the footpath, but with the passage of time, I think that things will start improving. No matter from where they begin, no matter from where they begin, their situation will keep improving with the passage of time, and there will be seen a lot of improvement as well. I think they must migrate to a major city. They shouldn't be living there at all, because if at all they do live there, and like their previous generations, they will remain a slave. They will remain a slave on a permanent basis. They shouldn't be live the life of the slaves at all, and they shouldn't live at a place where the children too have to live like a slave. I think that they should move. They should move from that place at all, and they should free themselves. I think this situation is a kind of opportunity. They might have suffered a big loss. There is no doubt in it. No doubt in it. But dear friends and fellows, I think they should look for the future. They should try to peep into the future. If at all their earlier generation, their forefathers, including this generation, if at all they people could not get a good life, it does not mean that their children too shouldn't be getting a good life at all. I think for the sake of their children, for the sake of their children's future, they must move to a major city, where I think even if they do have to work as a laborer, obviously they do have to work as a laborer initially, but I think that they will get themselves settled with the passage of time. Their children will get education. Their children will get the businesses, and they will start a self-employment. But obviously, a kind of laborers work in the major cities is much better than that in the rural city and working with the feudal lord, because the feudal lord does not treat them humanly at all. Generally speaking, some of these are really good, but generally speaking, they are very cruel, dear friends and fellows. They are always trying to manipulate and exploit these laborers. I think that this is an opportunity for these people, and they must avail it. The people who are around them and the people who do have this sense, I think they should try to motivate these laborers working with a feudal lord, that they shouldn't be repairing their houses at all at the moment. Rather, they should, what the way they can, even if they do have to walk on foot to a major city, I think is still they should do it. Still they should do it. It is worth doing. It is worth doing. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair.